Peace and light. My name is Yeshayahuwa Tehuti, and what we are going to look at today is the difference between the spirit and the soul. We know that the spirit is the actual emanation of the being that is of a higher nature. Soul is something that can actually emanate the physical plane, or it could exist in this physical realm because it is governed by spirit. Now, the soul is basically the manifested matter that transcends at a certain time. The spirit is not. The spirit is not able to do the works, or you may say, that the spirit does in a sense. And if you look at the spiritual being, you know that the spirit is the emanation of the Creator. The soul is the manifestation of the molecular structure, which brings us thoughts and power from the higher heavens, only if we are capable and if we are able to connect to the realms of light. Now, what I want to share with you is that the power that you have that emanates from your soul is within your being. We're supposed to connect to the higher regions of heaven while we're still here in the physical plane of existence. But what is going on is that there's some change that's taking place in the lower regions, and it's the photonic energy or the emanation of photon rays bombarding the earth, and it's causing a shift, a planetary as well as a dimensional shift that will transcend the physical three-dimensional reality into a fifth-dimensional state of being. So what we are doing now is expressing the power of the soul, because from the photon emissions, the soul will be activated through the DNA and RNA code. The DNA is really memory, or is really embedded data that we have brought with us from the higher regions. And we have to access the code. And by accessing the code, meaning that we have to acknowledge the fact that we are not just physical beings, and we're not just a corporate being in the physical reality. We are of a higher nature. We should acknowledge that. And in order to manifest that light that's within yourself, you have to connect to yourself and stop setting yourself to the side. And when you do this by involving yourself in these religious matters that doesn't have no merit or no power when it comes down to truth or wisdom. And we have to realize that we are constantly being drawn outside of ourselves, because the soul, the etheric matter or the ethereal matter of the soul, is the part that brings forth light, that brings forth wisdom, and that also permeates the frequencies or the energies of the brain. It brings messages from the higher regions from within yourself. It also activates the brain, the brain through the nervous system that actually activates the body. And the nervous system, into where the processes of the brain is basically activated through the neurons and dendrites that triggers at certain thought forms, and that brings on the energies from the higher regions, or wisdom from the higher regions. And when I mention about the higher regions, I'm talking about the regions within yourself, the regions that you can actually capture within your own being. That's why the ancient ones always tell you, and you read the ancient stories, is that to know thyself, know how to balance, control, and how to assess the codes within you. You have to transform your being into light, and you have to do this by separating yourself from the negative energies or the low vibrational frequency beings that has created these religions on the four corners of the earth. Now, some people may get angry when he speaks on religious matters or speak on the religions of the world. If you look at what's going on in the world, the religions has no merit or no real significance to raising the soul and the vibrations of the individual being that is present in their temples and masjids and whatever you may call them. And there is no change, no transitions or transformation that has ever taken place in one of those places we call church or temple or whatever. We will have to realize that we are not just physical beings in this world. We have to activate the latent power that we have so that we can transcend this three-dimensional thought form. Your etherical body surrounds your physical body, and what it does is displaces the solid or the solid atmosphere, which is the molecular structure. And what it does in this process, it generates the aura or the auric field that surrounds the human body. And that is how we connect to the higher regions. To some, it looks like a rainbow that surrounds the body. If you're sensitive enough, you can see it and also feel the vibrations of each level. And each chakra point vibrates in a corn, or you may call it a vortexian energy field that generates a certain color frequency. From the frequency of each chakra, it generates a certain color pattern. And each color code, it connects to a region within yourself that connects you to the higher region of self. And as we call the oversoul, or well, in most cases they call the transcended light fields of energy that generates the power that you have within your being, soul, mind, and body. Now, what I want to express to you is that we will have to come together and to acknowledge the power that we have by expanding our minds and connecting with one another and really loving one another and really activating that love energy throughout our household, our friends, and people in general, even people that we don't know. We don't have to express it, but we could actually send that energy out so that they could be healed. Like they said, in the twinkling of an eye, you will be transcended. You will be risen or you've been resurrected from the dead, from the state of darkness into light. Now, as this coming to an conclusion on this topic, the power of light is within you. Love yourself. Know yourself.